I was growing up in Jackson, Tennessee. The Willets were among our closest neighbors on Laurie Circle. Their driveway was right across the street from ours, so much so that you could skateboard down our driveway across the street, halfway up theirs before turning around and coming back again. Our families had a great deal in common. There were also some things that were quite different. My family were committed United Methodists, and they were devout Roman Catholics. The Willets went to Mass every day. They also had some seasonal celebrations that seemed a bit foreign to us, especially during the season of Lent. They each decided something that they were going to give up for those 40 days in anticipation of Easter. They were going to make a sacrifice, remembering the sacrifice that Christ has made for us all. My sister was good friends with one of their daughters. Imagine our surprise when she came home one evening to supper and announced that she had given up Brussels sprouts for the season of Lent. Somehow or another, it just didn't have the same ring as giving up chocolate or giving up sodas or giving up social media. Indeed, since that time, the United Methodist Church has made more of Ash Wednesday and the 40-day preparation for the season of Easter. We are more intentional about the way we live our lives during these 40 days. Some of you have adopted the practice of giving up something that you long for and desire. Maybe it's become a bit too much in your life, and by giving it up, you are abstaining. Or maybe by simply giving it up, every time you reach for that thing, you remember that just as you've given that up for a season, Christ gave up everything for you. Here's another tradition that has become increasingly popular in recent years. Instead of giving up something old, taking on something new. And so in today's devotion from the Upper Room Devotional Guide, Mangan writes, Lent is not just for letting go of things. It can also be about taking something up. After all, Jesus took up his cross. Perhaps we could take up reading more about Christ during Lent, try new ways of praying, or take more time to enjoy simply being in God's presence. Maybe we could choose to reach out to someone we don't know well. Friends, we are doing exactly that at Grand Avenue United Methodist Church this Lenten season, and we invite you to join us in the journey. We call it The Walk, and there is a link in the comments and description that will tell you various ways that you can be a part of what we're doing. Each week, we're adopting a new habit. The first week, we prayed 5 times a day when we rise at every mealtime and before we go to bed. This week, we're reading at least 5 verses of Scripture a day. I invite you to join us on the walk. I invite you to join us for worship. This Sunday, I'm going to be talking about the way that we can focus on our service and do 5 random acts of kindness during the course of the coming week. The habits kind of build on one another so that finally, when we get to Easter, we are walking in the footsteps of Jesus, who came not to be served, but to serve. And we are growing deeper in our discipleship every day. You'll find a link to ways that you can join us in the walk and a link to today's devotion in the comments and description below. As you are joining us, may God bless you and keep you until we meet again.